This short video will hopefully give you a good idea of what Dora may be able to help you with. Firstly, please excuse my voice. I'm a little under the weather. My name's Cameron Gregor. I'm a developer from Sydney, Australia. And while I'm talking, I'm just going to show you Dora being installed. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate some scenarios that highlight why you might want to use DXL Metadata Filtering for your NSFs. I'm going to make some changes to two identical views, with one of them being filtered by DXL Metadata Filtering, and I'll leave the other one as unfiltered. And to keep the demo short, I've already set up source control in the Git repository, and I've already configured the Git repository with the DXL filter, which you can see happening now. And I'll be using source tree as the Git client. So here are my two views, and you can see they're the same design. The first thing I'll do is commit both of them to the repository and show you the difference that DXL filtering has on them. So I'll just stage them both, and you can see the original files look quite similar, but looking at the staged files, unfiltered looks the same as it would, and filtered looks like a cut down version of just the information we want. So I'll commit them both. So after committing, if you look at the actual files in the working directory, they've still got all their information there. So what happens if we save the two views but don't actually change the design? I'll do that now, but just before I do, I want you to note the sequence number of the filtered view. And I'll go back into Designer and just force Designer to let me make a save. So when we return to the Git client, we can see that it is encouraging us to commit the changes to the unfiltered view. And if you look at the changes, you'll see that they're metadata, note info, modified, revised, last accessed. However, for the filtered view, Git is smart enough now to know that we don't need to make any changes because it won't have any effect on the repository. And just to prove that this file has actually changed, we'll just scroll over and check the sequence number, and it is in fact different to what it was before. But we're getting the green tick, there's no need to change it. So if you want a clean working directory, now you have to decide what to do with unfiltered. And do you discard these changes or do you check them in? And probably the laziest thing to do is to check them in. And often this will be accompanied with some random commit message like some changes or something like that. So we'll just do that and move on. Now I'm going to demonstrate how DXL filtering can help with merging. So I'll create two feature branches from the master branch. Then on each of those feature branches I'll make the same change to both views. And then I'll merge these feature branches back into the main branch. So first I'll create a branch called first name, and we'll return to Designer and insert a new column which is going to have the first name, and I'll give that the first name and save that one. And I'll copy and paste first name into this one, and also save that one, and save. Then we'll switch to source tree, and we should have our two views to change. Unfiltered will have our new column plus metadata, and filtered we'll just have our nice column. And we'll add commit those. And now we'll go back to the master branch and create a new feature branch called Twitter. And now we're on Twitter. And back to Designer. Now when you're doing external source control, I find I always need to refresh the on-disk project to get the latest branch if I've checked out a branch. And I'll just make sure I load. So now we're back to where we were with master, and I'm going to append a new column, which is the Twitter. And paste this in to the unfiltered view. And return to source tree. And we can see again our filtered view as just staging our column, but our unfiltered view's got our metadata and our column. And to stage them both and commit these to the Twitter branch. Now I'm going to merge both these branches back into the master branch. So check out master, and first we're going to merge first name into our current branch. And that all worked just fine. Now we're going to merge Twitter into our master branch. And we have merge conflicts. So let's see which files we have merge conflicts on. So our filtered view seems to be fine, but we have a merge conflict on our unfiltered view. And you can see that the merge conflict has everything to do with the note info and nothing to do with the column. And just to explain that merge conflict, you can see these markers that head and this marker to Twitter is saying the area of the file that is causing the conflict. And we can see it's the note info that is guaranteed to be different for every single time you save a file. And just to finish off how we'll resolve this merge, which we shouldn't have to do, I'll just open up that view in the text editor. And we just choose one section to keep. I'll get rid of this one and save that. And head on back to source tree. Have a look at our latest one, and we'll mark that as resolved. And we'll commit both of them. And back in Designer. Make sure we're on the right branch and sync and open them up, and we've got our merged views. So that concludes the demonstration of DXL Metadata Filtering with Git. If you're interested in giving this a try, I suggest you have a read through the README file contained in the Dora project, which you can find on GitHub, and you can also find on OpenNTF. If you look at GitHub, you can just scroll down and have a read through the README file right there and then. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them on the discussions page of OpenNTF project. Alternatively, you can get me on Twitter or email me at camerongregor@gmail.com. And thanks for your time.